Welcome again. In the previous tutorials, we have seen several command prompts commands which you can use to troubleshoot your network issues. Also, how to troubleshoot any issue you may have with your laptop, and also many ways of making money. Stick around. At the end of this tutorial, I will show you how I make money online. So today, I want us to go through ping command in details. In the previous one, I did highlight with an example. So what is a ping command? Ping command is one of the most basic yet powerful tool for network troubleshooting. Let's say you want to know whether a network is up and running, you can use ping command, as you'll see. Whether you're diagnosing internet issue, verifying server availability, that is a web server, or your own server that is hosted somewhere, either within your premises or outside, or test network connectivity, ping command provides a straightforward way to identify potential problems. So let's see how it works. So to open or to run ping command, you press Windows button, then on the run window, you type CMD, then you press enter. You open the black window. This is the command prompt. This is where we'll be running our ping command. So what is the ping command? Ping is a short form of packet internet dropper. It is a command line utility that tests the reachability of a host on an IP network. So computers within a network, they know each other through IP addresses. So like when you type google.com, you use a DNS server to translate that google.com into the server IP where google.com is hosted. So once you translate, then your laptop will go to each and every router, checking whether that IP belongs to that router. And if it belongs to that router, it returns the Google website. So that's what I mean with IP networks. So computers are connected through IP addresses, and they know each other through the IP address. So ping measures the round trip time for the message sent from the origin to the destination and reports whether the packet was successfully received. So when you initiate a ping command, it measures the round trip time taken, that is from your computer to the server or the computer you are pinging. Then if it is able to reach, then it will report a success message. If it's not able, then it might be a timeout or any other issue depending on what the issue is with your connection. So when you ping an IP address or a host name, your device sends the Internet Control Message Protocol, in short form is ICPM, echo request packets to the destination and waits for the echo replies. This helps identify connectivity issues, any latency, and any packet loss. We will see with an example of how ping command is sent and what you expect as a return if the connection is successful. So then how does ping command work? 1. Echo request. Ping command will send ICPM, which is a short form of Internet Control Message Protocol, echo request packets to the target address. So if you are pinging Google, so your laptop will send ICPM echo request packets to Google's server or computer which is hosting Google. 2. Echo reply. If target device is reachable, it responds with the ICPM echo reply. So if you're able to reach with a ping to Google server, it will respond to your laptop with ICPM echo reply. 3. Result analysis. The tool will display information such as the number of packets sent, the one that you sent, the number of packets received. If there is a difference between those two, then some packets are lost, and you know there is an issue with your network, and the time that is taken for round trip. all the way from your laptop to Google and back to your laptop, that timer is returned, which helps you know whether your internet is fast or not, whether you're experiencing slow internet. You can use this ping command as a network administrator to monitor your network. You just run continuous ping. Then you will just be checking on the change in the time and also packets sent and received and whether there is any loss. Then why use ping command? It is used for several purposes. One of them is to test network connectivity. Remember when you said a ping command, you expect a reply. If it is successful, it means the device, that is the server, router, or another computer, is reachable from your network. So let's say you don't have internet on your office and you want to test where the issue is. You just run a ping command to your router. If you're able to reach the router, then you know it's not an issue between your laptop and the router. If you're not able to ping that router, then there's an issue between your laptop and router. The next step is to ping server like Google's default IPs. See if they respond with anything. You can also ping google.com, that is the domain. If you are not able to reach, then and you are able to reach to your router, then it means the issue is from your router all the way to Google server. And in between there is your ISP and other hops. Hops are also routers, other routers in between. So then how do you identify the issue? You connect to another network that have internet. Try to ping your public IP. You can always get your public IP. Once you get your public IP, try to ping from another network that is not your internal network. If you're able to reach that public IP, then the issue is with your router or your firewall. There are companies where they have a separate firewall from the router. So the issue could be in between the two. So you need to first check the physical connections, whether they are okay, or ports are pre-configured. If they are, then you need to log in on each and get to know whether there is any settings which have changed. And check firewall whether you have opened all the ports that are required to be opened for that connection. However, if you're not able to reach your public IP from a different network, then the issue is from your outer interface on your router all the way to your ISP, and that is beyond you. You would need to talk to your ISP to see if they have any connectivity issue to your router. Number 2, ping command is used to measure latency. This is the time it takes for a packet to travel to the target and back. So remember, we are sending ICMP echo packets, say to Google or to our router. There is that time that it takes to reach to the target. Then our Google or our router will reply with echo packets back to our laptop. So that helps you measure latency of your network. That is the time it takes. And you can identify whether you have a slow internet or you're experiencing any bottlenecks with your network. It also helps you diagnose network issues. Ping will help you identify potential problems, like if there's a packet losses. Remember, it says a certain number of packets. It expects to receive same number of packets back. If there is a difference, then it means there is a packet loss. And also the time it takes to send and receive your response. So it may help you know whether you have a high latency on your network. 4, it helps you verify server availability or even your router availability or even a web server or a service availability. So when you're pinging, if there is a response from the server, you know that server is available or that router is available. If it is a web server or a web service or a service that is running on that computer, you know now it is online and responsive. However, that does not guarantee you accessibility of the website. You can reach a server, but you're not able to open the website, which could be an issue with files that are saved within that server or firewall. But ping helps you check if the web server or service is online and is responsive. So then how to use a ping command. Today we will do again on Windows. I've opened my command prompt, which you open with Windows button, then R, then you type CMD. Then within CMD, you just type PING, one word, that is ping, then the IP address you're pinging. For this case, let me use a domain, that is google.com. Then you can press enter. Notice there is an IP address that is given at first. So my laptop uses my DNS server to resolve google.com to the IP address of Google server. As I said, computers know each other with IP address. No computer will know google.com where it is. They only know each other through IP addresses. So from my laptop, it will go to my router, that is the traffic. At that point, it will check my DNS server, whether Google or where Google resides, and the DNS server will return the IP address for Google. Then from there, it will go to different hops. They are called hops, from my router to ISP. If there are other routers in between, then all the way to Google's server. If it is able to reach, then it will return a reply. As you can see, reply from the IP address we translated for Google. Then the number of bytes. This is the packet sent and received. Then there is time. There is time it takes to send that packet and receive back. Then there is time to live, indicating the packet lifespan in the network, TTL. Time to live. I will come to that in details. So those are the details you receive on ping if it is successful. However, if it returns timeout, request timeout, it means there is an issue in between. And you can use other commands like traceroute to know specific hop where those packets are getting lost, or where you're not able to access past. So on if you're using macOS, you just use command plus space, then type terminal, then you press enter, then you type the same ping, then the IP address or the domain. And on Linux, so you just open terminal. That is on Linux. So a practical example, let's just try and see. Is ping. We have seen using domain. Let's try to ping Google's DNS server, and as you can see, I'm able to reach. So there is a reply. The expected response, if there is any network connection, is reply from, then the IP address you sent, or the IP of domain you sent, then the number of bytes, then time to live. If there is no connection, you get request timeout or any other issue, depending on what the issue is on your computer or your network. If there are no replies, then there is a connectivity issue which you may need to troubleshoot further. So now we have tested connectivity. So that's how you test internet connectivity, by pinging and getting a response. So if there is a response with the reply from, then bytes, time, and time to live, it means there is a internet connectivity. If it is a request timeout, no replies, or it just hangs for some time, then it starts to timeout, or you get any other error, it means there is no connectivity. So usually, if you want to test whether your internet connectivity is working, try to ping a reliable DNS server like Google's 8.8.8 or 5.5.5.5. If both of them or one of them gives you a response, then you have internet connectivity. The other use, as we have seen, of ping is checking through internet. Remember, every ping command will respond back. You only need to look at the round trip time in milliseconds. That is the time that is reported. Time equals these seconds. If those values go above 200, then you have slow internet, and there is a network bottleneck within your connection. So this time here that is shown here tells you the time it takes to set that packet and receive back. If it is above 200, then you have a slow internet. If it is below that, then your connection is fair, but again, it should be very low if your internet is fast. So you can use that to check slow internet and identify whether there is a network bottleneck. The other use is to verify local connections. Local connections are computers connected within your router. Remember, on the router you create networks. You can have one network with a certain IP, or even different networks with different IPs. So you can use ping to check if devices on your local network are reachable. Let's say you have a server where you save your files within your network, or mail server, and you want to see if it is reachable. You just ping its IP address. I don't want to ping my router because of privacy, so you just ping your IP address of your router, then you see if it will respond, or the IP address of your server if you already know it. You just type ping then space that IP address. If let's say you are not able to access internet locally, and your ISP have identified that they are able to reach your router, or you have been able to ping your public IP, you can run ping command continuously like that, -t, and leave it running, and try all possible solutions. When you get reply from now either Google or your router, you know you have restored your connection. Let me use Ctrl+C to stop that. To get your router's IP, you just write ipconfig, one word, then you press enter. It will give you your network connection. I've done a full video on how to use that. I don't want to go into the details. The other use of ping is to check website availability. Let's say you are trying to access Google, you can't access. Then how do you confirm? You either get another computer and try to access. But does that help you? You have not known whether from your laptop you can access. Let's go back to pinggoogle.com. So google.com is a website from Google. If I ping and I'm able to get this response, it means I'm able to access, or that website is available. If I'm not able to open from browser, yet I'm getting this reply, then it means I've blocked that website from my browser. If I'm not able to ping from my laptop but another laptop is able to ping, then it means my network connection have an issue. I need to check my firewall, my antivirus, or even the ports that are allowed, whether I've blocked within the browser itself, whether I've blocked, and whether I'm connected to the right network. Remember, within your own network, you can create so many networks, and it could be that one network is limited from accessing the internet. So ping command helps you to know if you are able to connect to a website. So if a domain resolves to an IP address, that is google.com have resolved to that IP address and responds with ping reply, then the website is online. If not, it might be down or experiencing some DNS issues. And you can use DNS command prompts just to verify that DNS is working. So let's understand the ping command output. So when you run a ping command, you will see an output like the one we can see there, reply from that. So now we also have ping statistics at the bottom, the approximate load time trip in milliseconds. So let's digest these. Reply from, it confirms the host is reachable. So reply from this it means these are a host with this IP address is reachable. Host could be a router or a server or another computer within the network. Then the time is the time taken for the round trip. The lower it is, the better. If it is higher above 200, then you have a network bottleneck. Then there is a time to arrive, TTL. It indicates the packet's lifespan in the network. Then below that we have statistics. We have packets. The packets you have sent, packet received. So I've sent 4 packets, I've received back 4 packets. It means there is no loss. If there is a loss within your network, it means there is an issue which you may need to troubleshoot further. So packet loss will show if any packets failed to reach their destination. It could be you are pinging packets to Google or the response is not able to reach your laptop. We can try and see if we run continuous ping. Let's just see. Notice the time it keeps on changing. Because each packet have its own time to go. So then when you terminate, you have 14 packets received sent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each reply represents a packet. So you have sent a packet and you got a response back with that packet. If there is a loss, then you see the number of packets dropped and the percentage loss. If it is high, it means then you have an issue with your network. So application of ping command, it is used by IT and network administrators to troubleshoot internet and also to check if gadgets within your network they are connected. It could be router, it could be switch, it could be your firewall, it could be your laptop, or even other access points, or gadgets that are within network. So IT and network administrators can use a ping command for that. Also quickly test the status of server, router and endpoints within your network by just pinging them and see if they respond. And also resolve issues. If you get a request timeout, you only need to run ping command continuous. You go to that gadget, make sure it is connected, then you come and check whether it has picked up without even running the ping command again. It's also used to verify connectivity after network changes or repairs. Let's say you are doing a network change, maybe you have changed your IPs or your device. You can use ping command to confirm that the connectivity is back, or if you are doing any repairs or maintenance. Also troubleshooting DNS issues. Remember when you ping a domain like google.com, it resolves to a certain IP. Like now I have a new IP. So if I'm not able to get this IP for Google, it means there is an issue with my DNS. So I may need to troubleshoot further and know where the issue is. And the first thing is to flash DNS. Otherwise you can use other tools to check where that resolution is dropping. It could be a misconfiguration on your DNS servers or even DNS IPs, DNS server IP. If a domain doesn't resolve to an IP address, that is DNS is not working, try to ping IP directly. What we can do for google.com, you can try now to ping the IP address. If you know it off with 216.58.223.110. If that pings and you're not able to ping through domain, it means you have an issue with DNS and the website will not open with a domain name. It can only open with IP address. Let's go to browser and test that. So we have google.com. Google.com. So I'm able to open. However, if I'm not able to open through these, I can just use the IP address here, 216.58, 216.58, 223.110, 223.110. It should open Google. And as you can see, I'm able to open with either of them. So in most cases, you find the website may open with IP address, but it's not opening with the domain. It means there is an issue with your DNS, because that's where DNS resolution happens, where you change your domain into an IP address which can be found over the internet. Remember, the routers know each other, and they know servers and computers within networks through IP addresses. The other use of ping is performance testing. Using time, you can tell whether there is a bottleneck on your network. As I said, higher time, network bottleneck or slow internet. The lower the time, the better. It means your network is responding faster. So you can use ping, and you can run it continually to also see the fluctuations and identify where the issues are. And in combination of other commands I've shown you on this channel, you can be able even to identify why your internet is slow. It could be somebody downloading. Just check within this channel, you will see how I've explained how you can know which applications people are running on your network, and many other items. It's also used to measure latency for gaming servers and VPNs and or cloud services. So you can be able to tell, because these gaming servers, VPNs and cloud services require fast internet. So from the time displayed, you can tell whether there is any latency, and also with the packet losses, you can tell, and also round trip time, the minimum, maximum, and average time that is taken. So you can always tell. The other way ping is used is teaching networking basics, like what I'm doing. Ideally, you are learning networking, and ping is often used in labs to teach students how network communicates. As I said, I'm accessing Google from my laptop. But how did my laptop know Google? Using the DNS servers, we translated google.com to the IP, and we were able to ping. And that's how network communicates. Though I will come into details how network communicates, how routers know each other. There is also advanced ping options. The ones we have seen are just basic. You can adjust the packet size to test how large packets travel through the network. So we can use ping -1, then 1000, then google.com. We just use the google.com. We see if there is any response. There is an issue. Sorry, it is R, not 1. Actually, didn't notice that. Yes, it's R. Ping -R, R for egg, then 1000, google.com. So you're sending 1000 bytes to google.com. So what we are trying to do, we are testing if you are sending large bytes, that's huge data, to Google server, how fast does it respond? And as you can see, my network is okay. So you can use you can adjust packet size to see if your network can allow you to download files. Let's try and set 10,000 or even that. It's outside the range, so it's supposed to be 65. Sorry, 10,000, and you just wait and see. And as you can see, there is a request timeout. So I'm not able to send those huge packets. That tells you there is a limit to the number of packets I can send out. And yes, it is true, my network is limited. So that's how you use flag L minus L to set packet size and test and test the size of packets that you can be able to send and receive response with that time. You can also limit the number of requests. That is the reply that we can see there. How many do you want? Remember, I used without, which the response is the default for. There is with the minus T, which is continuous. However, you can limit this ping to say you just maybe need ping, then you put flag minus n, then the number of echo requests you want, like 6, then to 8.8.8.8, then press enter. So you don't need instead 6 requests, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have sent 6 echo requests. That's when you want to just limit yourself within a few echo requests. So you use minus n. You can also disable DNS resolution. So you prevent hostname resolution and use a IP. Let's say you just want to use an IP address. You can limit that with a ping minus a, and you press enter. It will just use the IP address without domain name resolution. As you notice, it just pings dns.google with that IP, limiting itself to without giving us the domain we are pinging. This is a helpful if you are dealing with a sensitive network and you don't want to know people around you to know which domain you are pinging. You just write ping minus a, then the IP address of the host. Then it will just ping without showing the domain name. Where there is ping, then dns.google, that. So now we have seen how to use ping. Let's see some troubleshooting tips with ping. Packet losses. Indicates issues like there is a congestion on your network or a fault in hardware. If there is any packet loss, then there is an issue either with your internal hardware, which could be your router, your firewall, or even your access point, or even from ISP level, or a faulty hardware. If you don't get a response, it means there is an issue in between. If the packet loss is over 10%, because it gives you percentage, inspect your router, cables, or ISP connection to be sure there is no issue. You might find maybe the cable has a cut, which you can't tell with the eyes. You just need to replace that cable. If there is no response, this could mean the destination is offline. Let's say you're trying to access your mail server and you're not able to access. You try to ping, there is no response, then it means your mail server is off. Or even if you are pinging your router, it means it's offline. Or there is a firewall in between that is blocking traffic, that is blocking ICMP. Most networks, if you try to ping and you get no response, maybe it is even your network administrator who have blocked that. Or there is a routing issue. Remember, as I said, routers communicate using IPs. If there is a routing issue between the routers, then of course you don't expect a response, because your laptop doesn't know where to send the next request. Also, high latency. This suggests high latency suggests a slow network or a distant server. So if you have a slow network, you realize the time taken is high, very high, or that server is way far from your laptop. It could be within your network, but there are so many connections in between that are slowing the network, which you may need to remove. Let's assume I'm in 5th floor and my server is in 10th floor and I'm trying to ping, and it takes time. It means from my 5th floor all the way to 10th floor there are so many connections in between, which means that server is way far. You may need to reduce those connections, either by having a direct line from your router to the router, or switch to switch which is in 10th floor, and remove any other routers that are in between. Check for bandwidth hogging applications, or switch to a closed server. So that is the resolution if you have a high latency. So you either check if there is any issue with your bandwidth. It could be there are applications which are overutilizing your bandwidth, or there is somebody who is downloading a lot who have taken your bandwidth and therefore causing latency. Or you switch close to the server, you just move close to the server, you connect your laptop to this Wi-Fi access point which is close to the server. So using ping, you can even tell whether there are people downloading on your network by checking the time it takes for your network to respond. You just ping Google's DNS server, see the response time. If it is higher and you know your network always performs well, you know there is somebody who is downloading, and there are commands which you can use to know who is running what and how much they are consuming in terms of bandwidth. Check this channel, you'll be able to see all these videos. Then there are limitations of ping. There are areas where you cannot use ping. One, where your administrator blocked ICPM. So some firewalls or servers block ICPM traffic to prevent misuse. So it could be even your ISP who have blocked ICPM. Then you won't be able to do pinging. Then ping doesn't give you detailed analysis. Remember, it doesn't tell you the issue with your network. It is you, the way we have interpreted this to interpret that. Ping provides basic diagnostic but lacks details about where issue occurs. You have to think outside or use additional commands. But remember, ping is the quickest way you can troubleshoot your network. So for your deeper analysis, then you may need additional tools like Traceroute or Wireshark. And on this channel, I've done full tutorial on how to use them. So in conclusion, ping command is very essential tool for anyone working with networks, either a beginner, seasoned IT professional, or even a technical person, so that you can troubleshoot your network connectivity without having to pay a third party to come and do it for you. Its simplicity combined with its effectiveness in diagnosing network connectivity and performance issues makes it invaluable. Whether you are troubleshooting a slow internet connection, verifying a server's availability, or teaching network concept, mastering ping can save you time and frustrations. Notice how fast we have been able to identify, just from this response, we have been able to identify our DNS is working. We are able to reach Google's DNS server. We are able to do it in a short time. And we can tell whether there is packet loss, whether our network is dropping in between, just with a simple command. So by understanding now this output and using advanced options like we have seen, and applying now this into practice, you can become very proficient in using pin command, and you become a reliable network administrator who can troubleshoot network connectivity in the quickest time. And on this channel, as I said, I also train how to make money online. Be sure to check how to make money with AdSense, AdStera, and Broker.com, where I've shown you full step what you need to do, requirements, time it takes for you to apply, so that you are guaranteed by the time you're hitting submit, you get an approval email, not a declined email. I think that is the easiest way you can get approval on AdSense. If you have ever been declined by AdSense, just go to the playlist section, check for that video on blogger.com and how you make money with it. It's a full video. There is also TikTok, YouTube, and Sound.me. There is also Facebook. There is also micro jobs and many other opportunities. They are endless. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps this channel. And let's meet in the next one, where we run now other commands in details. And hopefully this video has helped you. And also check on this channel how to protect your WhatsApp account and also other social media accounts. Remember, there is nobody who can hack. It is you as the individual who gives access to your account. So thank you so much, and remember to subscribe to this channel so that when I do the next video, you get notified. Thank you so much.